this video, we've got another upper body workout for you. I'm Dr. Brandon, this is Dr. James, and we are My Performance Docs. So with this video, we're going to be getting on the ground a little bit. You might be able to do some of these on your bed. There's one you can't, but we're getting down on the ground again. So Dr. James is going to demo this one for us. First one, we're getting into quadruped, so over hands and knees. He's going to do some shoulder taps. So in terms of position, let's make sure we got our knees right up under our hips. Let's make sure our wrists and hands are right under the shoulders. Notice his back is nice and flat and straight, so core is engaged here. Posture again is important, position is important. So what we're working is a lot of our push muscle groups. We're not necessarily pushing, so we don't have that motion going through the shoulders and the elbows or the wrist, but we are shifting weight from side to side and we're engaging those muscles there. So getting some chest, some shoulders, some triceps, and certainly the core engagement is shifting a little bit because his weight bearing is shifting from hand to hand.
Absolutely.
What you think so far?
No, so far this is great. I like this exercise. I use it a lot. I would probably say in my daily life I've been using something similar to this more often since I have a 3-year-old and we're always getting down on the ground. I got to be a horse or a dragon or a dinosaur or something.
All right, there's our 60 seconds, so now we're going into some open bucks. There's a little bit of a reach through too. Sometimes this exercise might be broken down into two different things. So reaching through is creating some rotation through the middle of the back mainly, getting some through the low back and turning the head a little bit through the neck too. But when we open up here, like an open book, we're getting even more motion. So combining the two, we're getting even more motion going through your middle back. Good for certainly flexibility and range of motion. Getting some strength here as well because of the rotational muscles that we're using, and then weight bearing again through that left side. So you might feel a little restricted if you do these. You might feel a little stiff or tight, especially if you haven't done these before. So just go slow, go to that point that you feel a little bit of tightness, a little bit of a stretch, and hopefully over time it loosens up and you can go a little bit farther. All right, got 60 seconds on this one side, and then Dr. James is going to switch here in a second. There we go. Other arm here.
One thing I was noticing with that is my prop arm in the back. The back of my arm and my tricep was definitely getting sore.
So one thing we talked about when we were putting this together was, should we alternate arm to arm as we went for 60 seconds? Or should we just stick to one side? So one of the things we talked about was, if we stick to one side repetitively, the stance side gets a lot more work. One thing we've been trying to do for you guys, if you've been following us from the first week where we put out 3 videos that were 10 minutes each, is we try to make things progressive. So if we are progressing, things need to get more challenging. If you feel like it's too challenging here, do it one side at a time, you can alternate, right? With this one in particular, it's 60 seconds per side, so that's 2 straight minutes of alternating. But you can modify that if you absolutely had to. If you don't have to, try to really push through, feel that burn. I think you'll be better off for it, make you better.
Absolutely.
All right, there's our 60. So now we're going into getting down and getting back up. So a very basic thing that we should be able to do in life is to get on the floor and to get back up. There's certainly different ways that you could do it. One of the ways that we would tend to teach in the clinic, if we were working on that, we would tend to call it fall recovery. Somebody fell and they needed to get back up. But it's coming down to a knee, and then from there shifting one leg through, sitting down, getting back up. Here, Dr. James is doing it, just getting down to the knees and getting back up. So it gives you a couple of options there based on your flexibility, your strength, your ability to get down and get back up. If you can't quite do that, work on just sitting to a chair and getting back up, like you've seen us do some sit to stands before. If you can't do this and you really want to be able to, reach out to us. Like, put in the comments there. You can direct message us. We're on Facebook there, and we can have a private conversation on how do we make a better plan to get here to do this one. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, there's our 60 seconds. We're gonna move on to the last movement here. We call this one D1 and D2. That gets into what we call stuff, so we won't go down that road. But either way, we're doing some diagonal movement here with the arms. One's coming up a little bit more flexed, one's coming out a little bit more into extension, and we threw this one in a bent over position. So we're working some of those muscles through the back, through the glutes, through the hamstrings, as if you were gonna pick something up off the floor, okay? We did deadlifts in a video where we were leaning down, coming back up. So this is working those same muscle groups, but a little bit more statically. All right, so Dr. James, out of all the exercises that we've done thus far, we're on minute 5 here. What you feeling? Where are you feeling it in terms of muscle groups? Anything in particular?
I would say definitely. Oh, I'm uncoordinated. I would say definitely around my shoulder girdles, kind of chest, backs of the shoulders. I'm feeling it. I think getting up and down from the floor got my heart rate up a little bit. So I'm feeling that.
All right, so there's our 5 movements, 5 minutes. We're repeating this one for a total of 2 rounds. So we're back to shoulder taps. All right, again, remember position: knees under hips, wrist under shoulders, back flat. Keep your core tight and engaged. Make sure you're smooth on that transition for the taps.
And I think one thing that we haven't said, but one thing we haven't said that's definitely okay is if you're ever watching this exercise and you feel like you need to take a break, let the video roll. Let us keep moving. You take your break. When you're ready, jump back in with us.
Yeah, do as much as you can. Push yourself to that limit. Everybody's got a threshold on different movements, and everybody's different. So if you're always trying to push that limit to make yourself better, eventually that threshold, that limit, it'll change. It'll move with you, and eventually you'll notice that you can do more before you do need to rest. All right, so there's our minute. Going back to the open books again. Reaching through, coming up. Now, in terms of progression, we're trying to give you guys a ton of just progression within one video or one workout here. But one thing we've done before with this one is we've thrown a weight into it. It could be a bottle of water, like you've seen us do in some of the other videos. Could be some variations to this one. I would say for this one, just make sure you're moving smooth, full range of motion, good control, especially if you've never done this one before.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Definitely good for loosening up the middle back, as we mentioned earlier. I'd say in terms of the spine, the middle back is notorious for getting stiff. We got ribs that attach there, so it tends to not move quite as much as the low back and the neck. So definitely good. We'll loosen that one up. Maybe take some pressure off the low back and off the neck too. Those areas feel like they move a little bit better. All right, Dr. James. All right, there's our minute. Switching sides here.
And as always, so with this being coming up on the end of week 4, we've got this workout and another workout for week 4. That means that y'all will have done, 14 workouts in a month. If you've been following with us, or if you haven't been following with us and you want to start from the beginning and get on it, we've got it set up basically 4 weeks, 14 exercises. I mean, that's pretty darn good, especially if you weren't maybe moving before. So, congratulations.
Yeah, for sure. If you haven't been doing anything, you've been following along, or you haven't and you just found us and now you want to start from the beginning, congratulations on that. It's always a good opportunity to get started moving. Movement is good for us. Movement is medicine, and good things happen in the body when we move in the right way. All right, switching over, getting up, getting back down.
And if you even want to really progress this, you can go from here to up. For this, we were just interested in getting y'all working on being able to get up from the floor. So, as Brandon mentioned, falls, that's definitely something we want to prevent. But if people come into our clinic and they have a history of falling, it's important for us to work with them on getting up from the floor. We don't want anybody to be stuck on the floor. The old commercial, help me, I've fallen and I can't get up. Like that's awful. We don't want that for anybody.
No. I think both of us could attest to having patients in the past that had fallen and been on the floor for hours on end before somebody finally found them. Never a good scenario. Now certainly, we work on balance. We want to try to improve people's balance so they don't have falls. But in the event that you do, it'd be nice to get back up, right?
Yep.
All right, there's a minute on that one. Back to our diagonal movements here with the arms. Diagonal flexion and extension. We call them D1, D2. Hang in there, we're almost there. This is our last minute on this workout.
Yeah, y'all are doing great. So this one definitely got my heart rate going. If you're at home and your heart rate's up, you're breathing a little heavy, you're not alone. That's where I'm at as well. So very good. I would like to touch back on the getting up from the floor just because it's so important. If any of y'all have grandkids at home, our little ones at home, like I do, a 3-year-old. Sometimes they want us to be able to play with them, right? And that's so important, right? That we can continue to do the things we love with the people we love for as long as we have on this earth, right? Living life full, living life big. So that's definitely something that's dear to Brandon and myself. So
For sure. All right. There's time. Good job. How do you feel? Go.
winded.
Fired
So
up.
yeah.
All right. Good job, you guys. Congratulations. Enjoy. See you next time.
Thank you.